I live here in Abingdon and have since 2001, minus 2 years. But I'm originally from Lee County, Virginia. My wife is originally from Richlands, Virginia, so this was our meeting ground in between. So I grew up on a farm in Lee County. My brother and I always worked cattle for my father, and that's where I learned to work hard and create an entrepreneurial spirit. So we worked the cattle farm, and that cattle farm paid for my first year of my college education in Harrogate, Tennessee at Lincoln Memorial University, which is right across the Virginia border. So the whole time I was in college, I worked on the farm and at a factory to pay my way through my undergraduate college, and I was thankful enough to graduate without any debt. So I used the help of several Southwest Virginia leaders to get myself accepted to dental school in Richmond, and that was my first experience seeing our seat of state government as a small boy from Lee County. So I moved to Richmond, and that's where I met my wife. And she was in Charlottesville, and I was in Richmond, and we were there and got married my third year of dental school. And I was lucky enough when I went in that no one knew where Lee County was, but I was very fortunate when I ended that they all knew where it was from, and that Southwest Virginia wasn't Roanoke. It was Lee County and anywhere in between. And I'm from Ewing, which is all the way down at the end. So, or the beginning is what we like to say. So we got married, and we moved back. We were getting ready to move back to Abingdon because that's where you move back to if you're from Richlands and Ewing. So we were moved back to Abingdon, and I had $116,000 worth of student debt. And my father had always taught me that you pay as you go and you don't accumulate debt. So we decided at that point that I needed to do something to supplement my income, and I joined the National Guard. That was July 2001. In September, we all know what happened. So I came back, and the first 3 years I was practicing here, right on Main Street, I spent instead of a weekend a month, I spent about a week a month getting soldiers ready for deployment. So at Fort Pickett. So I've seen every mouth of every soldier in the state of Virginia at some point in time. So I moved back here, and the whole time I was practicing, I knew I wanted to see children and specialize in children. So I moved my wife and two small children to Buffalo, New York. Not that my father-in-law ever has forgiven me for that, but we did that. So we moved to Buffalo, New York. We were in a residency program there, and while there, I got called up to go to Iraq. So I went to Iraq, where I supported the 42nd Infantry Division into Crete. And I was thankful to meet some wonderful, wonderful people, some soldiers that I worked with there that gave the ultimate sacrifice, and some that came back with less than they took with them. So we went, and I came back, finished my residency, came back, moved right back on the same street I originally started at, and bought a practice in Bristol, opened another one in Johnson City and another one in Knoxville, and those have been so great, and I'm loving what I do, that I was able to invest in a couple of pizza places around here, and one at Exit 7, and then a restaurant in downtown Bristol, and also a Jeep dealership over in Russell County. So I've been very blessed. I'm very fortunate. I was raised in a Christian conservative home. I've been a Republican before I was born. So my grandmother always said straight ticket or no ticket. So I have the same values that everyone in this room probably has, or I would hope that you would all have. So with that, I think I've probably worn out my minutes. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
It's not really a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a member of our Methodist Church here on Main Street.
Yes, ma'am.
And he has very beautiful children with beautiful red hair.
She actually sang at the 9th District meeting this past time. Yeah. Thank you. How was your trip?
Beg your pardon?
How was your trip?
Fine.
Yeah. Good.
Great.
Okay. All right.
And you mentioned when you moved you had 2 kids.
Oh, and I came back and I have 4 now. I have 4, so we multiplied quickly. So, but we're done.
That tends to happen.
Yeah, it does. My kids go to, my wife's president of the PTA here in Abingdon. My kids, I believe that you should be able to educate your child however and wherever you want. I think that the schools in Washington are great, and my wife is very involved with our children's school. My wife's PTA president at Abingdon Elementary, and my daughter is in middle school at E.B. Stanley. So, yes, ma'am.
How many years have you got in the National Guard now?
I finished my commitment with 8 years total. So I joined in 2001 and I finished in 2009 as a major and the state dental officer for the state of Virginia.
I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
wondered if you was gonna stay for retirement.
Well, they get you on that.
I know Iraq would make you
Well,
weary.
not, surprisingly not, because you see that's what you train up for, and that's what you really should be doing. So it makes my wife very leery, that's for
Oh,
sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah. My brother is actually full-time Army and National Guard in Gate City, and my father was military, so it was something that we always were passionate about.
Jim?
What's your take on Common Core?
Common Core, well, I'm thankful that the state of Virginia did not participate in the REACH program. So we don't have Washington telling us how to teach our children. So I'm thankful that we didn't participate and didn't take their funding. So I think that we can teach our children values at home and not rely on somebody else to teach them. That's where it begins. So.
You got some more time. Is there any more questions?
Sure, I'll throw one.
Okay.
You're on the tobacco commission, correct?
Yes, sir, I am. I am a freshman member of the tobacco commission. Yes, this is Bob McDonald appointed me at the last hour. Seriously, the last hour. So, yeah. So, yes, sir.
Tell them the committees you're on.
I'm on Southwest Virginia Economic Development Committee, which is a great one to be on for Southwest Virginia. I'm on the Research and Development, and I'm on the Education, which funds all the Tobacco Commission scholarships. We actually met today and funded several programs for Southwest Virginia, thankfully. Yeah.
Is red wine determined of that?
He is, and he's a great chairman. Yeah, he doesn't mess around. No, he's a veterinarian. That's right. He's a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Kind of same thing,
No,
same thing.
animals.
Yeah. Well, I see children, so sometimes I wonder.
No more questions?
Any questions? I'll be around. If anybody wants to talk to me afterward, I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Okay? Thank you for having me. Thanks, guys.